Critical warning, overdosing on Zepbound and WEGOVY, everything that you need to know in today's episode. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost over 90 pounds on my 100-pound weight loss journey. I've been working really hard the last year and a half with being on Mounjaro and Zepbound. And on today's episode, I want to dive in. It is a count special. If you know, you know. That's my husband, my hot count. Sent me this article, and there's several of them that I will link. I have two sources. I will link both of them down in the description link below, as always, to fact check me to make sure we are staying factually accurate. I require that here at Countess of Shopping. But basically what is happening, the FDA gave a warning yesterday, just a few hours ago, saying that there's been a massive overdose, basically, with people on WEGOVY, Ozempic, and I'm adding into that Zepbound and Mounjaro, Tirzepatide, but the article is specifically referencing, and FDA is specifically referencing Semaglutide. So just to be clear on that, but my Zepbound friends, I want to make sure you're clear if you're taking Tirzepatide, the compound version. This is a warning to all. And it was even when I was reading, I was like wanted to share with my friends. Is basically what is happening. People are overdosing on Tirzepatide, Semaglutide with the compound version, not the pens of Zepbound, not the pens of WEGOVY, but actually on a compound, which I have been on. I am on the compound Tirzepatide. I get that through Join Fridays, super reputable telehealth company, and they have reputable compound pharmacies they work with. I'm obsessed with them. You can check out down in the description link below more information on that. Bad math and unclear directions are behind overdose up 20 times the normal amount for off-brand weight loss drugs. And my source on this one is ARS Technica. I'll put the article link down below. And then I also have from Reuters down below too. So the US Food and Drug Administration. And so my UK friends, if you're watching as well, this is applicable to you, even though it's US based FDA. That's our Food and Drug Administration, to making sure that we stay safe with food and drugs. As UK people, heed advice, because I know some of y'all and our Australian friends watching, international friends, are taking compounds as well, meaning compound of semaglutide, the injection where it's not the pen, it's not the brand name, that basically there was an alert issued overdosing on off brands of injections of semaglutide. So semaglutide is the Ozempic and WEGOVY, to be clear. Tirzepatide is Mounjaro and Zepbound, to be clear. Which the semaglutide, which is dispensed from compounding pharmacies in a variety of concentrations labeled with various units of measurement, administered with improperly sized syringes and prescribed with bad dosage math. The errors are leading some patients to take up to 20 times the intended semaglutide, the FDA reports. Though the agency doesn't offer a tally of overdose cases that have been reported, it's been suggested that received multiple reports of people getting sickening by dosing errors with requiring hospitalizations. Semaglutide overdose can include nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, fainting, headache, migraine, dehydration, acute pancreatitis, gallstones, the agency reports. Bad math. And so I'm going to dive into this and give you also my experience, strength, and hope, having taken a compound now for a hot minute. I'm going to share with you my story. So in typical situations, compounding pharmacies provide personalized formulations of it. And basically what's happening is patients are confusing the instructions from compounding pharmacies, which indicated they inject themselves with a certain number of units. The volume may vary of units or milliliters. And so you may administer 1 milliliter syringes to administer a 0.05 milliliter doses, or 5 units. The relatively large syringe size compared to the dose led some patients to administer 50 times instead of 5. And so there's confusion on that, and I'm going to go back to that part too, is they're dosed, FDA-approved semaglutide drugs, meanwhile, are dosed with milligrams, come in standardized concentrations. So basically what's happening here, and I've shared this before, let me pull out my two different ones, is on this is my literal, from the compound. It has units on there. Let's get the camera to get in focus. There's units. This has on there where it just has the pen on there, but if you notice, it says in terms of my dosing is 15 milligrams, mg, 15 milligrams, units. When I got my compound, which is why I'm going to go back to the article in a minute, but this is why it's confusing, and this is why I want to heed this warning to anyone taking compounds. You need to double check yourself. And I think let's connect the dots here to our friends of like, why is Eli Lilly not releasing the vials for WEGOVY and Mounjaro? Just pay the overdose of what's happening right now. People are overdosing on it. Is because this is not clear with the units. Now I had in my, and I wish I had brought the vials up. I don't think I did for my compound. I had 2 different size vials when I got them. And I had on there, my units was 75 units for my 15 milligrams of Zepbound 15 milligrams. And if you older folks have seen my Mounjaro videos, you're like, oh, I thought she was on Mounjaro. Moved from Mounjaro to Zepbound because of the Mounjaro shortage. And then because of the Zepbound shortage, moved to compounds. Very reputable compound pharmacy. I'm obsessed. It's Red Rock. People are like, oh, it's Red Rock. And you've been hearing stuff about Hollandale. As of the information I have on today's filming right now, I would use Hollandale, by the way. Take or leave my opinion for what it's worth. I have tried with the sources that I have and the work, the background. I'm not going to go through all of it, but anyways, that's a topic for another day. If you're in the loop on all of that, if you're in my free group, there's been some chatter on that. 75 units on here for the compound. Now, a friend of mine was like, I'm taking Zepbound 7.5 milligrams, and I had the same units, 75 units also. Why are we both taking 75 units? And I'm like, I don't know. And I started to freak out. I actually called Red Rock, and they're like, it's because the concentration is different with compounds. Concentration is different with compounds. Now, I'm taking Tirzepatide, not semaglutide. This is referencing in these articles from the FDA, semaglutide. But to me, I am calling it the Countess of shopping, and I want to be very clear. I am calling it the same thing. This is not the same thing, but Tirzepatide and semaglutide, they're different. Tirzepatide is slightly higher results than semaglutide, but to me, they are GLP-1 medications. One has one receptor, hormone receptor, the other has 2, which is Tirzepatide, slightly higher data and slightly more effective. Now that we're clear on that. But so I'm making that equation on there because I'm taking the compound of Tirzepatide, and I got confused. And I would think that I'm smarter than the average bear. I'm going to say it. My mom tells me so, so it must be true. My mom says that. So it must be true. So I called the compound pharmacy, and that's where I want to encourage you of read the instructions. Many of you have gotten instructions. You're like, oh my gosh, it's confusing, or there's something. Call the compound pharmacy in which you're getting it from to double check. And then to add confusion on there too, some compound people are having pre-filled syringes. My syringes are not pre-filled. It's actually dangerous if I pre-filled these because I don't have the sterilization methods that the pre-filling places do. They use like sterilized hoods, and it's a whole process on that. I only fill, as my instructions tell me, 1 week at a time because of bacteria growth on there, right? We're in the wild, wild west right now. And so being really smart and asking questions and making sure you're comfortable in where you're getting your medications from, right? If you're not comfortable, don't inject it, right? I did feel a little bit, but I knew, like, I trust Join Fridays. Now you do you. I want everyone to do their due diligence. I want everyone to do with the information I have. I feel very good. They've been my healthcare provider since 2023 for a long time now. And so I feel, but who am I? You know what I mean? Like, you do your own due diligence. You do your own research on that. To me, having the compound on there, I can see why people, going back to this FDA finding, I can see why people are overdosing. It's confusing as heck. It is, and I'm smart. And I'm not in a stressful, I have been in stressful pockets, but I know if someone was in a stressful situation of where you're just like, I just want to take my medication. Like, I've had that of where with my compound of like, I just want to inject my pen. I wish I had pens because the pens take, I don't know, 2 minutes, maybe a minute. This for me takes 20 minutes. It's a whole thing because the injection and the wiping and the sterilization and making sure my hands are clean. And if the count has to do it on the back of my arm, I have him do it. And like the whole thing. So going back to this FDA dosing thing of why I think this is so important for you. And if you have a friend who is taking a compound, please share this video with them. Share this video and be like, check this out. This is data-based. I've shared, hopefully I've made it very clear where my opinion is and where the actual, the FDA part of this is coming in, that people are incorrectly converting milligram to units or milliliters, leading to calculate wrong dosage. With these math errors, some patients have administered 5 to 10 times more semaglutide than intended. The FDA recognizes substantial consumer interest in using compounded semaglutides for weight loss. However, compounded drugs pose a higher risk for patients than FDA-approved drugs. We know that. We know that. or hopefully we know. I know that. I'll show you. Let me use my I statements. I know that. Let me correct myself. I know that. The agency has urged patients and prescribers to only use compounded versions when absolutely necessary. We are under a shortage. And so it is, for me, it is absolutely necessary. Let me go click over to the Reuters article because I thought that was interesting as well. It was talking about, I want to go back over to serious concerns on here. For me, one more thing of, I have friends who go locally to, there's a really reputable place I would go to. If I went locally, I would go there because it's run, the medical place to get semaglutide is run by a doctor, like a doctor. There's another place in my area that, and someone of my viewers knows where I live and was like, oh, is it the place over by Starbucks? And I'm like, yep, that's the one. It scares me. It looks, they also do, they do the hallucinant drug, the hallucination drug. What's that called? Ketamine. They're doing ketamine and semaglutide. I'm like, I don't know if it's doctor run. They're doing both of these things. They're not specialized in just weight loss, but even if they were specialized in weight loss, do they have a medical degree? Do they have some sort of tracking on here? And that's what I'm going to go over to and talk about, of like, just giving medication without instruction is crazy to me. And so anyways, I would not go to that place. And that's where some of these facilities versus, like, that's why I like telehealth, is with telehealth. It to me, it's completely different in a better way. And I know that there's reputation involved in that. Like Join Fridays, the two co-founders, one of which is a board certified obesity doctor. Like the instruction is coming from somebody who is, you guys know, medically based. I'm a medically based person. I have no medical history, but I want the people who are like, I don't go to dentists without teeth. I want the leaders who are leading me in chronic obesity management treatment to be specialists in that. Hence the reason why I like, so going back over to this example for me locally, I would be very concerned about like when you hear these things, I'm like, that's the place that pops in mind for me. I'm like, oh, it's the place that also does ketamine. That place scares me. I would not recommend my bestie. I'll use my I statements. This is only my personal opinion, but I wouldn't want my bestie going somewhere of injecting something that they're also doing a ton of other stuff. And this place just started a few months, like they got in on the gold rush, so to speak. And so like, there's no signage talking about medically based of like, who's the medical doctor, who's making these, like, is there a protocol? Like at Fridays, there's a whole protocol. I've asked 10 million questions about protocol because I'm curious, like I'm super, super curious. And they always have, anyways, so wherever you're going for your compound, do they have a protocol? Who's prescribing it is the first part. And then the back end of when you're getting it, are you ensuring that you feel comfortable? If you don't feel comfortable, ask questions. It is okay to ask questions. Now, I think that there's a borderline of asking like, there's like how people are like, there's no dumb question. Sometimes there is. I've had that where I've had 800 plus employees and I'm like, sometimes there is a dumb question. I don't like that saying at all, but in terms of your health, if your gut is like, if something doesn't feel right, then don't do it. You know what I mean? And for me, when I got my compound, I'm like, 75 units, I'm on it, my friend's on it. It didn't feel right. I called. And then when I called Red Rock, oh my gosh, they were so nice. The customer service was amazing. The compound pharmacist walked me through everything, alleviated my fears, said, did I have any more questions? So like, that's what I'm saying. Like there should, that's my experience. That's my experience. Let me go back over here too. I've had somebody, and I'm going to go back to the article, but I've had somebody in my personal group, which if you're on Mounjaro or Semaglutide or Tirzepatide or whatever, a GLP-1, you're welcome to join my encouragement group, link down below. Only if you're nice though. Kicked some people out yesterday for not being very nice. I don't tolerate mean people. It's only that is also my safe space in there. And because it is a safe space, people are very honest. And a group member a few months ago, I will never forget this, is like, oh my gosh, I overdosed myself. I injected, forgive me, see, now I'm gonna confuse. It was either milliliters, milligrams. She overdosed like 10 times the amount and had to go to the emergency room. And I was like, oh, my heart, I felt so badly for her. And it was a mistake. She later, we were talking, and she's like, it was a simple mistake. Like, I just got confused. Like, and I could see I could see completely, having given myself a compound now for a while now, how that could happen. I can completely see. And so I'm really glad, yay FDA for releasing this too, by the way, so we can talk about it. And so it starts conversation. And so whether or not you're on a compound or not, or you're thinking about one, it's super important to make sure you're clear on the units. But then with the units, it can change because of the concentration levels on it. Meaning I was on 75 units for 15 milligrams. My friend was on half the amount of Zepbound as I was, but was also on the same 75 units, because there was a different concentration level. So it's confusing, 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 confusing. That's why I see why there's a flag happening right now of higher risk to patients who use compounded drugs, may contain extra additional ingredients, and may contribute to potential medication errors. It urged healthcare providers and compounders to provide appropriate syringe size and counsel patients on to measure the dose. That's the biggest thing. Many of you guys have asked here, can I show me taking my compound injection and like doing that whole thing? I haven't. If you'll notice, it's not, I have a playlist of hundreds of videos, so feel free, please binge watch all of them. But I don't have that. I have myself giving the injection, but I actually don't show it because I don't think you can on YouTube. One, I don't think you can, and I love YouTube. I get to go out to LA for all these cool YouTube things. I want to stay in their good graces and not get flagged as being that. But two, I am not medical. And so I feel like me showing someone how I give, I feel like out of integrity and alignment, like I care about you guys so much. I love the Countess of Shopping community so much that I would never want to give improper medical advice, which is why I don't have me doing this, because that's easy. It's a pen. That's almost dummy proof, almost, but not quite. This I'm sure I would make potentially a mistake, and I would never want to potentially put someone in harm's way. So, which is why I don't have, because people have asked, a lot of people, so to answer that, and I will not be making, at this point, if I can have somebody who is medical come in. And I had a beautiful viewer, if she's still watching, she was she gives instruction for a living of how to do injections. Like that's her job. So she like coached me through. And if that was you, bless you, like you made my heart so happy. Thank you. It was like the nicest, I was literally sweating, and it was like the nicest relief to have like a checklist on there with it too. So going back to this about calculating missed doses and improperly doing it, make sure you feel really comfortable. I had with Red Rock, I believe, I'm trying to remember, it was a QR code that I scanned to watch a video or a checklist. There was something that I watched and read that said all of the steps. The other thing in here was bubbles that can happen. You pull it down so for this, you basically push all the air out, make sure everything's clean, put it in, and then pull it down. And then I was freaking out about the bubbles in it. So then I try to like gently push it back in and flick the thing. And I'm like, can I just have the pen? But some of y'all are like, no, I love that. Like, I love that whole process. So, and there's other people too who are like, I'm so comfortable with this. I've done this a bunch of times, that you're so comfortable with it too, which I get as well. So these two articles, I think it's really important we have these conversations, not just for semaglutide, but for my Tirzepatide friends. I want to be very clear again that this FDA warning was for semaglutide, which is WEGOVY, Ozempic. Tirzepatide is for Mounjaro and Zepbound, with it. Now, taking a right turn, you guys know I'm the Countess of Shopping. People will get their panties in the wad. They're like, you talk about products all the time. Hello, my name is the Countess of Shopping. Hello. There was a video that was dedicated on hating on me. I'm like, oh, my husband's like, you've made it. I'm like, I have made it on the internet. Someone did a whole video of like hating on me. Anyways, so I like to shop is the bottom line. And I test products. That's my job. I test various products to tell what are the best products and give an honest recommendation of like, is this garbage or would I buy it? And would I buy it again? So to be clear, I bought these with my own money to test them. And I ended up, if you want me to do an unboxing, let me know. I ended up, don't tell the couch. I bought like $400 worth because I saw another influencer. Her name's Jenna, the bariatric bestie. Do you guys follow her? She's on TikTok. I've like gone down like her Profi and like protein coffee. And anyways, I really like her quite a bit. And so she uses this and I was like, okay, I'm going to try it too. Now I am obsessed with for chocolate protein Bioptimizers. I've got a 10% off code for my protein powder. I'll link that down below. It's Queen. The discount code for Join Fridays is Queen. Most of my codes are Queen. This is chocolate. They do not have, Bioptimizers does not have a vanilla protein. If they did, I would have the vanilla protein. I would totally have the vanilla protein. This has 23 grams of protein. It's plant-based. So I want a vanilla protein. I had been having the GNC one and I ran out. And I just haven't gone back to GNC. So I've tested that one, really like the GNC one for vanilla. I bought this one because Jenna, the bariatric bestie, had recommended it. I was like, I need another vanilla one to try. I've been doing Proffies, and so I wanted to try with vanilla. The chocolate one I use is Bioptimizers, but for this one, it has, it's called Clean Simple Eats, and I'll link down below my shopping list. It'll be on my Amazon list. I'm working right now on getting a discount code, because you guys know I always ask, like if I find something I like, I'm always trying to save you guys money. And so this one is, I haven't even tried it yet. Literally just pulled out the Amazon package, just pulled it out. So I will link that down on my Countess of Shopping Amazon store. This one, they have vanilla, they have a ton. And you're like, how did you spend $400? Well, then I ended up buying, they have a ton of flavors. They have like a coconut one, a key lime pie for fruit. So I'm in on it. Some of y'all with the ingredients want cleaner ingredients. This is whey protein, and Bioptimizers is clean, like super clean. But in terms of the vanilla, this is an option. You do you in terms of ingredients though. Sometimes people like, you do you find what you like, right? Like what makes the best sense for you, but this is what I'm trying. So take it, leave it, whatever. And then I bought their collagen. It's super collagen mix, blackberry lemonade, age defiance. I didn't get it for the age defiance. I really, truthfully, I've been like I've been using the Bioptimizers collagen, but I wanted to try something. They have chai. My favorites are chai and the caramel. They have a third one, but I'm obsessed with their caramel and I'm obsessed with their chai, but I wanted like a fruity one. Because here's the deal. We got to do stuff we love. I say that in every video, I feel like. You got to find foods you love, exercises you love to make this weight loss journey process long-term and sustainable, which is why I got this. So it's blackberry lemonade. I will keep you posted. I'll post on Countess of Shopping Instagram stories, and I'll, of course, here, Avi, on YouTube. Like YouTube, you guys are my like besties. Instagram people are my friends. YouTube people are my besties. So if you're here, you're my bestie, and I appreciate you. But so I'm curious to see. And I ended up, they have like a cucumber lime collagen, several different, a sour watermelon one. I didn't get any of those, but I might. I want to try these first. And then I got a ton of their protein ones. They even have kids stuff. So the Duke likes protein. He likes protein stuff. So I may be buying that as well. Gone down quite a rabbit hole this weekend. Gone down quite a rabbit hole. So I hope that the article is helpful. I will link that all on my Amazon Countess of Shopping account. Oh, thank you. An amazing viewer messaged me. You guys know, because I require myself to be factually accurate about an error I did. It was this. It was Peter. If you're watching, Peter's my brother. Hi, Peter. Peter, you're doing a great job, by the way. So this, I had mentioned in another video, it's the travel case. And I made a mistake. Some of you guys are like, it says 74.8 degrees on there. And I'm like, yeah, because it's not frozen. So on my last video, it was confusing to some of you. The ice packs aren't cold. So that's why it's not cold in there. It's because they're not cold. I haven't frozen them yet. So there's two of them that come in here. You put it like this. Now here's the other thing. And then in here you can put your pens, or let me zoom in so you guys can see. You can put your pens in there, or you can put your compound vials and syringe. With this one though, another viewer, a separate viewer, and if this is you, I'm forgetting your name, but I really appreciate you, said, Elizabeth, please make sure to tell people that to make sure you check the temperature, that it's not freezing your pens and compounds. And I say that with all of my items, even my mini refrigerator, using my mini refrigerator for my pens separately, test this one with a thermometer, because if your pens freeze, you cannot use them. So making sure if you're storing your pen in any sort of refrigeration or storage, for example, like when I went to Disney, not this past February, the February before last, I brought my at the time, Mounjaro 5 milligrams with me. I checked the temperature to make sure nothing froze. I put water on the back, like in the front of it, to see if it froze. So just check. That was I wasn't going to Disney with a thermometer. And in fact, I put my pens on the door just to make sure. If you put anything near a back of a refrigerator, usually that's where things freeze, is near the back of our fridge. So try to put it near the front or on a door, and that will be less apt to freeze, but test it with a cup to see if it turns into ice. So to make sure I'm not confusing anybody on this from my last or whatever the sequence of the video is, I filmed these in bulk. I bulk filmed these, so it could be like 3 videos back. Whatever video it was that I was talking about this travel case, I wanted to give an update to make sure, A, that there's nothing frozen in here, the ice pack, so that's why the temperature is the way that it is. And then 2, once you do use any of my travel cases that I recommend, double check. Just double check before you go with these. I personally would put a thermometer in here. I'd freeze this, put a thermometer, let it sit, and then check on it in an hour or 2 for all of them. And that was for compounds. And then I have, this one was like, I don't know, $8. And I like it quite a bit. That's my favorite for $8. This one is a hard shell case, but also great for compounds. This one was 20-ish bucks, and it's probably my favorite. It's got a thermometer on it. It's my Moira Rose voice. It has a thermometer on it. So there we go. All of that is also all that to say, like I said, I test things for you guys. People shoot shots on that, and I'm like, yeah, I want people who test products. So I don't want to buy garbage. You spend your money and tell me if it's good. And so hopefully that's what I am for you guys, is like, I'll spend my money and tell you if it's good or not. I'll give you my honest opinion if something's garbage or not. So interesting articles today. I'll link all those down below. Link in the Amazon show. Also, we'll link Join Fridays as well. Highly reputable in my humble opinion. I'm obsessed with them. I love them. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shop, and count my blessings because life is delicious. Oh, we forgot to do 2 things. 1, what is your accountability question? What are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? I, for my accountability question, already got my 2-mile walk in. Tomorrow, no, my personal Pilates trainer, which I don't know who this woman is, Tuesday. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. And then our emoji of the day. Our emoji of the day is going to be fireworks. Fireworks. And that tells me that you made it this far in the video. No one's going to make it this far in the video. If you make it this far in the video, you get extra fireworks from me. But it's twofold. 1, it helps me to get to know you better because I care. Because you're watching. If you've watched this long, then we're probably like, we're besties. And then 2, I will pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, no worries. I'll uplift you in positive thought. All are welcome at the table. Okay, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.